The final trailer for the second coaster in the future Indiana Jones Blu-ray trilogy box set was released on Friday, and I guess I should do an analysis of it. This is the final trailer before this thing comes out in theaters in June. So I guess they're not going to tell us what the plot is until we actually go see it. All right, let's start. So I'm guessing this is like Indiana Jones, the moon landing is going to be on TV, and it's like Indiana Jones didn't even care. He like slept through it because Operation Paperclip is apparently a plot point in this movie. He's like, the future is lame. Okay, so originally I thought this was going to be Marcus Brody's granddaughter, but apparently it's somebody else's daughter. And maybe not Marcus Brody's son. Because he talks about how her father was in the war and Marcus Brody would have been too old for World War II.
Drinking.
Same for the goddaughter.
Dad told me you found something on a train during the war.
So yeah, see, I think this is her dad, who looks like he's a foot shorter than her, so I'm not sure how that works. So you got digitally de-aged Harrison Ford, and he's fighting digitally de-aged Mads Mikkelsen. So I still think they're going to do like a Hellboy thing where they're trying to do something with the Dial of Destiny like in 1945. It doesn't work. And so they try like 30 years later. He's under the hat. That's digitally de-aged Mads Mikkelsen.
A dial that could change the course of history.
A dial that could change the course of history. But remember, if you go on your average movie forum, they still don't think this movie's about time travel. Yeah, it's about the space race.
You're chasing the thing that drove your father crazy.
No move. Please get out of here.
Oh no, Rachel Weisz attacks!
Sorry.
Dr. Jones, get him.
So what I noticed with this is it's still only showing like the same action sequences from the Super Bowl ad and the first teaser. So I think there could be a huge chunk of this movie being obfuscated from us. So the person driving the subway wouldn't maybe stop if there was a horse in front of him?
Hitler made mistakes, and with this, I will correct them all. You stole it.
So Hitler made mistakes, and I'm going to correct those mistakes. And there's a dial that's magical, but the movie doesn't involve time travel, remember? That's just a rumor. The movie doesn't involve time travel. The problem isn't that the movie involves time travel. The problem is the original ending rumors. That's the problem, because if I'm sure the movie's not going to end that way. I'm sure they've changed that. And you can go on the internet and look up what those rumors are. There's no way they left that in. However, when people realize there's time travel in the movie, then they're going to think, oh, maybe the rumors about the ending were also true. That's the real problem. And that's why they can't just outright say the movie's about time travel, because people are going to conflate, the time travel rumor to the original ending rumor.
Then you stole it.
Yeah, so you got young Mads Mikkelsen and old Mads Mikkelsen. So I'm guessing he's going to be like a NASA guy. Maybe that's why he's in the parade. But he's got an ulterior motive. Maybe he uses his links at NASA to build something to use. Because it's not like going to be like a DeLorean. It's more like time portals. Well, you'll see it in the trailer.
And then I stole it. It's called capitalism.
So we've got 2 Indiana Jones movies in a row with a joke about capitalism that doesn't understand what capitalism is. Dumb. Yes, people stealing artifacts is capitalism. Yeah, I have a lot of confidence in this script.
Fasten your seatbelt.
So there's a time portal on the screen. So the movie involves time travel. Like you see these planes in other trailers as well, and I think it's like, I don't know if Indiana Jones was captured, but for some reason he ends up going back in time with the Nazis. And my guess is, if I was a Nazi in 1969, That sounds like something I shouldn't say on YouTube. But if I was going to go back in time to try to help my old boss, I would probably take back Nuclear Secrets or the formula. Well, the Nazis were what were they were trying to do? Heavy water. And they were going to use heavy water to enrich the uranium to make a bomb. So they were doing it differently than the Americans did. The Americans built giant magnetic subterfuges to enrich the uranium. That was, the Manhattan Project. But I mean, if you think about it, like one of the reasons that the Americans got the bomb done first is because our country wasn't being blown to pieces every day. Like Germany was always during World War II, we were bombing everything. So it was a lot easier for us to build something in the middle of Nevada than for the Germans to build something in Germany in the 1940s. Thank God. But I'm just saying that's really why we won. So anyway, if I had to guess, that's probably what this guy's going to do. Take atomic bomb secrets back to the late 1930s.
There might be some turbulence.
So now you see old Mads Mikkelsen dressed up as a Nazi. So that's because he's going to go back in time and reintegrate himself with the Nazis. I'm okay. Okay. Well, actually, I'm not really okay with this movie involving time travel because the reality of it is there's no geopolitical force in 1969 for Indiana Jones to punch that would be politically correct. Like he can't go to Vietnam and punch people. He can't go to China and punch people. He can't go to Iran and punch people. So really, his story just needs to be over. What they're doing here is they're basically going back in time, so he still has someone to punch. But if they wanted to go punch Nazis in the 1960s, you could go to like Brazil or one of those extradition. I shouldn't say extradition countries. They should go one of the countries where a lot of them ended up. Like in that. Whoa, was that what X-Men First Class? That was a great movie. Remember when he was hunting down the Nazis? Well, anyway, back to this movie. So yeah, this is them flying in the plane. There's going to be some turbulence because they're about to travel through time. But the movie does not involve time travel.
You've taken your chances, made your mistakes, and now a final triumph.
So this is the part I don't understand. So he's like, oh, you found something on a train during the war. And I guess that was the Dial of Destiny? But then you see him and her modern times, in 1969, searching a Grecian tomb for, I assume, to find the Dial of Destiny. Yeah, because you see him pick it up with his old man hands. So what did they find in the 40s? Was it just part of the puzzle? Are there like two pieces of the artifact that have to go together? So yeah, that was Antonio Banderas. I think Antonio Banderas is going to be in this movie quite a bit. And then I guarantee Sala is just this one scene at the airport. Nobody tosses a dwarf. So I guess this is after. Well, they go back in time, but do they go back forward in time? I guess that's the question. Yeah, well, again, if you want to, you're free to Google the rumors, but I'm not going to. It's the language of Mordor, which I will not utter here. There are 2 Lord of the Rings quotes in one video. Maybe I can go for 3.
A few times in my life I've seen things. I've been tortured with voodoo. Been shot 9.
You weren't tortured with voodoo. Voodoo is not in India. Voodoo is a kind of Caribbean thing. Thank you very much. You should know this, Indiana Jones. I mean, I guess you could call it voodoo, but it's not. I'm being semantic. But hey, he's a professor. He's the one who should be semantic, not me. Like in that first coaster where he's like, well, quicksand's actually a mixture of mud and water. This is a dry sand.
Including once by your father.
Yeah, see, I've been shot 9 times, including once by your father. Then you see that short guy. Apparently, wait, Indy catches the bullet? Again, did this guy marry like a 7-foot-tall supermodel to squirt out Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
Sorry. But I've been looking for this all my life.
The rumors are just too believable. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it came from 4chan, so you automatically dismiss it. Well, I don't know, though, because it's so on point for what Disney would do these days, especially, again, once you take into account time travel. It's like, well, if the, time travel is clearly in the movie, so if that happens, maybe this other thing happens. And that's why in this trailer, they still are not revealing the actual plot, because they know people will conflate one rumor to another. All right. Well, I mean, I hope it's good. I don't really have much faith. Although, for some reason, me and my sister rewatched the first Coaster the other night. We actually did a commentary for it, which I'm going to put on YouTube eventually. And it's like, James Mangold is a really good director. He on paper, he's perfect for this, right? Because he also did Logan, which is also about, like, old people. Ever since the first 40 minutes of The Force Awakens was great, and then everything else has been. Actually, I kind of like Solo. I actually thought Solo was probably the most consistent Disney Wars movie. I guess we'll see. Of course, I will make a review of this if and when I see it. I probably can't resist. I just don't have high hopes. Because, I think if you look back to 2007, like, Steven Spielberg's heart clearly wasn't in it. Nobody's actually, though, I think the only person that gave a crap in that movie was Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf and Karen Allen. Everyone else was like, why are we doing this? All right, well, anyway, I'll stop rambling. That was my overview of the Indiana Jones trailer. I guess we'll see what the actual movie's like, and I guess I had to make a review of it because I'm such a huge Indiana Jones fan.